Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to the automation campaign. Today we will be going about making the next generation car for the company. So we facelifted the Crid in the last episode, which I have realized I've messed up quite badly because I've just seen that the retooling for the factory is just not even like a year after this car release. So this initial engineering was absolutely useless, it seems, but mistakes happen. Yeah, so we're going to start design. We're going to fast forward time a little bit until the end, until the remote has finished its re-engineering, and then we will begin making the next generation of Vilulf. And of course, we have a factory issue. It's higher retooling costs, 100 million. Ooh. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't mind. To be fair, it is. Yeah, we do need to do it. So it's 100 million to retool it. So we'll do that. And yeah, I mean, we're really close to 1994, which is where I want to be, to make the next generation vehicle, because I think that means we have more bodies available to us, we might have some more technologies, and yeah, I mean, things are going quite well. The new remote's making us a lot of money, but what's not making us any money anymore, at least as much, is the supercar. So now we're in 1994, the remote has completed engineering, which means that's now gone into production, and it is making us some nice money. Yeah, but the supercars stopped making us money. I mean, the Crid, the hatchback, I messed up with the factory here, so it's now retooling, so it's not making any of the previous generation cars. But yeah, I mean, it's looking alright. We've been making plus, like we've been in the green this whole entire time, so I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, let's make this next generation car. And so this is the platform that we will be using. It will be made from partial aluminium, the body. It'll have a monocoque chassis with corrosion-resistant steel. The engine placement, it'll be a front transverse vehicle, mainly because I want the base vehicles to have front-wheel drive, because it'll be cheaper to produce front-wheel drive vehicles than rear-wheel drive vehicles. But I also want to leave us with the option to make rear-wheel drive vehicles. And I think that's going to be very beneficial to us, because that way we can make high-performance vehicles much more effectively using that all-wheel drive system. As for the suspension, we're going to have a McPherson strut on the front, so we're not going to change that too much. But on the rear, we're going to completely revise the rear suspension and put in a multi-link suspension, which I think is greatly going to help this vehicle. And as for the engine, we're going to use the facelifted 4-cylinder as the main engine for this vehicle. And for this one that we're going to do in this video, or the one that I'm going to do now, we're going to do all-wheel drive with an advanced automatic gearbox that'll have decent top speed. Actually, we're going to do a little bit of overdrive. We're going to do an open differential for the. We're just going to do an open. We don't need a gear differential on a normal car. So yeah, we're going to have medium compound tires. We're going to do alloy rims. How do the wheels look? We could make them a little smaller. Yeah, I think that looks good. So we're going to have alloy rims. Vented discs on the front, and I think we're going to do 4 pistons on the front, mainly because because of the engine, it's going to be a powerful vehicle, and because of its size, it's still going to be quite heavy. So we're going to try a 4 piston on the front, mainly to make this car appeal a little bit more to the people who have money. It'll just be it's one of those things where you say, okay, we've got 4 piston brakes on the front, we're an amazing company, but in reality they're completely overkill. But yeah, we're going to do just a solid disc on the rear. We're going to do about, I guess, 60%. We're going to have a comfort pad type, because we don't want this. This is supposed to be a comfortable car. We're going to do a fully clad undertray to try and maximize our drag coefficiency. And yeah, premium interior with a premium CD, with a little bit of quality in that. And we have access to electric power steering, so we're definitely putting that in. Traction control and ABS, of course. Standard 90s safety, and yeah, progressive adaptive dampers and semi-active sway bars. We'll do a normal suspension preset, and yeah, it looks like we've got a really decent base to work from here. The demographs really like the look of this vehicle, so that's definitely a plus. for fuel economy, we've definitely improved on that from our last vehicle. I believe our last vehicle was by something like 12 litres per 100 kilometers, which is a lot. So 8.6, even though that's still considered quite a fair amount, it's much better than the 12 litres that we had before. But yeah, it's a really comfortable vehicle, highly drivable as well. And yeah, I mean, we've pretty much aced it in terms of the desirability for this vehicle as well, considering that the family segment has a desirability of 228%, and the premium even higher with 230. So yeah, we've pretty much smashed it out the park with this vehicle. So yeah, let me fiddle around with this vehicle a little bit, try and put a design on it that works, and yeah, I'll be back with you guys shortly. And so the plan for this vehicle is essentially to design the next generation of the company, but also to introduce platforming to our company, where we use one body style or one chassis to produce several different styles of vehicle, which is going to reduce the production costs and should hopefully mean that we can sell the cars for the same price as we would do normally, but with lower production costs, which means higher profit margins, which is exactly what I'm going to try with this vehicle, and I hope that it works, is all I can really say. I've decided to turn this into a wagon, and including a saloon, as you see here. And yeah, I think it turned out really nicely. I'm very happy with the design. It's all stayed very similar in the front end to what you, the viewer, would be used to. But the rear end has taken a complete different turn in terms of its design, and I'm not sure whether I quite like it or not, but it's growing on me, so we'll have to see in a few episodes' time if that's something that we look back on fondly, or if that's something that looks horrific. But yeah, I mean, it is a nice car. The actual chassis and drivetrain of this car are really, really nice, so I'm very happy with the outcome of this vehicle. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up now, and the time lapse shouldn't be much longer, so yeah, I'll speak to you guys shortly. And this is it, the next generation of Vilulf. It's yeah, I mean, it's an interesting design. It's still got a very similar front end to how the previous generation had it, but this is just to keep it recognizable as we go into this next generation. The rear end, however, looks completely different. This is, I mean, I've never managed to get a design to flow like this. It looks very weird, don't get me wrong, I know it looks very weird, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, I kind of like it actually, and I mean, it sort of works. It doesn't match the front end whatsoever. I know this is very old looking, I know, but with the facelift of this vehicle, that should be solved. But one of the things I'm very proud of is this interior. So if we just fly into here, oh, I forgot one thing. I'll fix this in a second. I forgot to put a display in there. I've got roof lights, I've got sun strips, mirrors, just a proper center console. I've got everything in this design, and I am very happy with the outcome of it. So yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed this design as well. And yeah, let me go design the other two vehicles. The other vehicles. I don't know how I'm actually going to do this. I'll have to figure this out off camera, I guess. But yeah, let me go design the other vehicles, and then yeah, I'll be back with you guys shortly. And to introduce a bit of variety into the company, as I've been planning on doing, I decided to try and use this this body as a platform. So I've decided that I'm going to make a wagon variant of it, because I think this is going to appeal to more of a utilitarian segment that also needs a family car. So this is exactly the type of car that they are going to want to have. So yeah, I mean, this turned out really nicely. I think this looks almost even better than the saloon. I mean, yes, it looks very weird on the rear, but I think it's something you can get used to. I don't think it looks that bad, actually. And yeah, I think this is going to be a really good seller, especially considering it has all-wheel drive and an advanced automatic gearbox. But so yeah, let's see what these cars can do. And don't worry, we do have a turbo variant, and I think this looks amazing. I've lowered the car, I've put a bigger splitter, a nice rear wing on it, gave it this sort of bronze, sort of a very aggressive looking bronze colour on it. I think this car is just astonishingly good looking. The rear end, yes, it's still a bit awkward, but definitely not bad. And I'm very happy with the way that this has turned out. And actually, I'm going to quickly fix this while we're here. But yeah, no, this has turned out into a really nice vehicle. I'm very happy with the way that this has come out. And so here we have the different variants. We have the saloon variant, we have the wagon variant, and we have the turbo variant. The numbers in these, so basically we've got the Advantage model, which is, the A stands for Advantage and the S stands for Saloon. So we've got the Essential Saloon here and the Advantage Saloon here. The 4A stands for 4 and automatic gearbox, so the 4-wheel drive automatic gearbox, and the 2M for 2-wheel drive and manual. And I'm assuming you can guess the rest. So this will be the Advantage wagon with the 4-wheel drive automatic gearbox, and the rest goes pretty much the exact same way. So we have the turbo variant, which is a saloon with 4-wheel drive and an automatic gearbox. That's pretty much how I'm going to have to name these vehicles from now on, just so I know where exactly these cars are, what these cars are even doing. So yeah, let's see what these cars will do. So we want this to release for, I think, the year 2000. I think 6 years will be a good time to try and develop a new car. So let's make it a little bit optimized. Let's put a little bit of reliability into the vehicle. And yeah, I think this is going to turn out into a really nice car, actually. This is going to be a properly good car. So let's increase the pressure a little bit on the car, on the design front, and increase reliability. There you go, perfect, 60 months. I'll take that. I'm very happy with that, actually, because that means in the year 2000 this car released for the new millennia. And yeah, so these engines are already being produced in a factory-ish. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to take, I believe, the Mark II Promote. Yeah, exactly. Because this is just going to be a replacement for the Promote. This is going to be that new platform. And I do have some ideas of how I want to do the next platform. So yeah, I can't wait to see how that turns out. And yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a large 3 factory, which is going to take 13 months to rebuild, which means we won't have much time, I believe, with the actual vehicle, but we'll see. Now, the interesting part will be how many vehicles we actually produce. And we produce about, what, 20,000 cars a month? And we still have engines in reserve, which is actually insane, I've just realised. that is genuinely crazy that we still have engines in reserve. So yeah, we're going to keep the shifts and everything the same. These are going to be quite expensive to produce, but that's simply because of the interiors inside the vehicles. And yeah, let's automate some of this a little bit more and increase the tooling quality, which means we produce even more vehicles. And yeah, crazy. So we're going to reduce the QA threshold a little bit just so we can produce that extra couple vehicles. And yeah, I think this is going to work out really nicely. If each vehicle does make us 8,000 profit, we're going to make a huge amount of money from this car. So yeah, let's go to see the forecasting. And at the moment it's at a 20% margin, but I sort of have a price in mind of how I want it to go. So let's see how this is looking. So we are making some very good money. Wow. Okay, let me quickly put some prices in and then I'll be back with you guys shortly. And here we have the prices, and I don't think I've ever made a car that could theoretically make this much profit for a company. I mean, just look at this. If this car genuinely makes us this much profit, I think we're going to be the richest car company in the world. But yeah, I'm super excited to see how this car will do, and I can't wait to see what other cars this company can make. But yeah, I mean, this is just crazy. 15 billion after 10 years. I mean, we won't be producing this car for 10 years. We're going to be producing it for about 4 years. But that means we still get 5 billion out of this car, if that's correct. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. So let's sign off on this car. And yeah, I mean, this is crazy. So how much is this even going to cost? 1.2 billion. I mean, we are making some good money, so I think we can do it. So let's sign off on this. And yeah, what we're going to do actually is we're going to fast forward the time a little bit. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. So yeah, let's fast forward until the end of the grid. And that way, yeah, that way we can see what sort of money we're making up to this point. I think the snap we can slowly stop producing, so we can pause car order trims, and then in a few months' time, then we'll just completely stop production on the vehicle. Because I mean, it was a cool example of what this car company can do, of what Vilulf can do, but I don't necessarily think it's exactly where this company's headed right now. Maybe in the future we can definitely try and make a more supercar-esque car based on a platform that we already have. But I don't think that's the way we're going to go right now. So yeah, let's fast forward the time a little bit and see where we end up. And so it is now 1996, and annoyingly things haven't gone as well as they probably should have done. The promoters made us some money, but it didn't really. It sort of fell off very quickly, and the Utforska, which is our lovely off-road car, is doing absolutely horrendously. So yeah, not the best way to get going, but I think it'll keep us. I think we'll be all right until this promotes releases, which is going to bring us most of the money in. But yeah, I think next episode what we're going to do is we're going to focus on expanding our next generation lineup. And I mean, yeah, I can't wait to see what we come up with in the next episode. So yeah, let's go into BeamNG and give the new promoter a try. And here we are in BeamNG Drive, and I have got the cheapest model that we've got available of this car in front of me. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take a few of them for a drive and see if they're actually any good. So yeah, I mean, the car ported over really nicely. I'm very happy with the way that the glass turned out, and the interior looks amazing from the outside, so I'm very happy with that. But yeah, let's see how this car actually drives on this mountainy map. And I'll be very honest, this car is a lot more capable than I expected it to be. Especially in the corners. It just stays, it does its thing. It's... what can I say? It is exactly what a car should be. It is not horrendously looking. It drives really nicely. It's not too expensive. It's got a semi-powerful engine under the bonnet. And don't forget that this is the cheapest model of this car, so there's a lot better things to come. Well, soon. Ugh. Let's see how fast this car can go down this little section here. I've never driven this map. I've literally just downloaded it because I thought it looked cool. And yeah, I mean, I can't complain. It doesn't look very cool. But this car is taking it like an absolute champion. Oh my goodness, this is a big downhill. How fast can we get this car to go? So this is the 5th gear. And it is definitely going. Oh. And up this side, I guess. This looks like a very interesting little section. It goes sort of very much left, which this car has refused to do. This is just a bit of fun, to be honest. This car is just a regular family car. I don't think anybody in their right mind would be driving it like an absolute lunatic like I am. But well, unless someone stole it. But what are you gonna? that's their problem if the car doesn't do what they want it to do. But yeah, I mean, suspension is soft and comfortable. The actual drivability of this vehicle, I think, was at 99.9%, so pretty much perfect. And you could definitely tell this car understeers quite nicely, but it doesn't do it in... it isn't unpredictable. Like here, I can slow down a little bit, turn in, and it'll do what I want it to do. And I'm very happy with that. I mean, it turned out very, very nice, and I could definitely see this car genuinely being a good seller. Although it doesn't have much power, this car definitely isn't slow. I mean, 125 horsepower isn't little, let's put it that way. It's still a fair amount of power. It's just, this car weighs almost 1.4 tons, so you can definitely tell that this engine has its work cut out for it, but no, it's coping very nicely. I think because I've shortened the rev range and made sure that the torque curve comes on a lot earlier than it did before. You could definitely tell that... You could definitely tell that the engine is much more capable than it was before, especially considering it's got more torque and 5 more horsepower, while getting 4% extra fuel efficiency. So, yeah, I mean, it turned out really nicely. I'm very happy with the way this turned out, and yeah, can't complain. And now it is time for the estate variant, and this is the 150 horsepower variant, so the powerful one with the all-wheel drive automatic gearbox, and I'm definitely excited to see what this car can do, so yeah, let's put it into drive and give it a little go. Oh, I forgot this engine revs up to 8,000 RPM, that's crazy. It just screams at you, it's amazing. I mean, this car is fast. I really do like this car. It's very, very wide, and it's very heavy. But with the engines we have available to us, what? That was all okay. Okay, not what I expected, but yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, this car, despite being so heavy, the 150 horsepower definitely show themselves in this car. I mean, it's got a 4-speed automatic gearbox in it, which is a bit mushy. I'm not a big fan of it, but I mean, when you're getting a car this expensive, you want it to be an automatic, let's be real. And I think this car, the gearbox is alright. I personally prefer manual gearboxes over anything, because you can then decide how you want to drive the car and not have the computer try and figure out what you want to do. So, I mean, yeah, this car, it's fine. 150 horsepower is definitely nice, and the fact that this is a wagon means that it's also very utilitarian. So yeah, very happy with the way that this car turned out, but I think we're going to enjoy the turbo even more. And here it is, and my word, is it a nice car. It looks so good. I love the weird sloping roofline at the back. It makes it feel like a coupe when it isn't. It's like it's got that beautiful blend of saloon, sporty, sort of, just, it is that purebred performance vehicle that I love from these vehicles. So let's turn off the assists. Let's put it into, we don't have manual. Let's put it into the sequential gearbox mode and launch it. It is not slow at all, my goodness. Let's see how it does in the corners. I expect this car to do even better in the corners because it has geared differentials, it has a better power distribution than the other vehicles, so it has... Oh, that was just me driving poorly, and now the car is damaged. The front wheel is turning the wrong way. Right, let's get a quick reset in, and then let's... yeah. See what this car can do. So, like I said, I've never driven this map before, so I have no idea where I'm going or what I'm doing. But this should be quite a lot of fun, I think. Okay, it's a lot more understeery than I expected. And a lot more fragile. But we all know that I am not the best driver in the world. I like to have my accidents, and I mean, these powerful cars definitely bring that out in me, but you just can't help but push the throttle. Oh no. That's another accident waiting to happen. Oh, that's a barrier. Go away. Okay. I'll be very honest with you. I don't think I could have survived that. So yeah, let's continue down here, I guess. I mean, this is the way we came up. And there you go, that's a lot better. I mean, this is just a really fun car to drive. I mean, it is very understeery, but that's something you can tune out of these vehicles, I think, if you put enough effort into it. I mean, I just did a basic tune where the car would still be a bit understeery because that works better for getting cells and automation. But yeah, I think this car genuinely is a really good car. It'll sell very well. It's planted, it's very powerful. The gearbox is a lot nicer because it's a 5-speed, so it has a better gear rate. It has better gear ratios, and yeah, I think this car, all in all, is a much better package than I expected. Really, I knew it would be a good car, but yeah, I'm not sure how it would compare though to the previous generation turbo. Very interested to see that actually. And in order to see how fast this car is, we have the previous generation of the Fromode. So I can't. Let's see how this car does. I think this is going to be very exciting. So let's take off the traction assists, like the traction control systems, line ourselves up, and see how. Oh, need to move forward a little bit. There you go. Get ready to launch and go. The other car is almost quicker, but we have that little bit more torque, that little bit more power, but it's still beating us. It's gonna be so close. Oh, who won? I won. Oh my goodness, that was close. That is crazy. That was okay. That is really close. We only beat it out by a little. We only beat the previous generation out by a little bit, but that other generation is rear-wheel drive and with a manual gearbox. So, wow. Okay, that was incredible. But yeah, I'm going to end the episode there. It has been once again an absolute pleasure making it for you. I hope you've enjoyed watching it, and yeah, hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And bye bye.